I think many of you in the room know this. You probably can say it by heart that I'm the 10th chair of the board of directors of the Legal Services Corporation, and what an honor it is to be that chair. And on behalf of LSC's board, I welcome you to our 2020 Innovations in Technology Conference, and how appropriate it is that this is the 20th anniversary of this special conference. I'm delighted to be able to extend that welcome to a record number of attendees this year. At last count, it was 582 of you. And a record number of presenters, 186. Before going any further, though, I want to recognize the extraordinary efforts of Glenn Rawdon, Jane Ribadenera, and David Brownbrake. Will you guys stand up for a minute? And, of course, they have an outstanding team with them. This is another terrific event, but this conference has been Glenn's brainchild from its very beginning, and we thank him for his continued remarkable leadership. Now you stand up again. I also want to recognize, if he's in the room, Matt Keenan, are you in here? Well, he's at the conference, and you'll see him circulating. He's a new member of our board. He's a partner at Shook, Hardy, and Bacon in Kansas City, and was formerly on the board of LSC's grantee Legal Aid of Western Missouri. Also attending and presenting at this conference is the co-chair of LSC's Emerging Leaders Council, Kristen Sunday, and I know she's here because she sat next to me on the flight with her baby Nico. Now, Kristen, where are you? You're in the, okay. She's the co-founder and COO of Paladin, a company that uses technology to help organizations run more efficient pro bono programs. And the Emerging Leaders Council, which we formed last year, includes a group of multi-talented individuals, rising stars in their communities, who are helping LSC spread the message across our country about the serious crisis in access to our civil justice system. And nearly a dozen members of that council are taking part in this conference as well. And we're gathered here today because of LSC's commitment to promoting innovative technology as one of the best ways to help narrow the nation's yawning justice gap. The difference between the civil legal needs of low-income Americans and the resources available to meet those needs. And today, folks, nearly 59 million Americans, more than 18% of our population, qualify for LSC-funded civil legal assistance because they are living at 125% of the federal poverty guideline or below. And LSC's 2017 Justice Gap Study found that an estimated 1 million civil legal problems brought to LSC's grantees by low-income Americans did not receive the legal assistance required to fully address their needs because of lack of available resources. And 9 months ago, LSC conducted a new intake census of all of its 132 grantees. And that census, unfortunately, suggests that the level of unmet need continues unabated. This 2019 intake census focused on eligible clients who sought assistance for civil legal problems at LSC's grantees during a 4-week period last April, and found that 42% of the legal problems presented received no service of any kind, and only 27% of the problems presented were served fully because of a lack of resources. We are, of course, happy that the United States Congress actually increased those resources by $25 million last month, bringing LSC's funding to $440 million, the largest appropriation in LSC's history. But this is not nearly enough to meet the unmet need, and in fact, it is exactly half of what today, in inflation-adjusted dollars, would have been the $880 million that was appropriated just 2 years after LSE's founding in the mid-1970s, when only 12% of a smaller population qualified for LSE-funded assistance. So technology, we need you. It can help meet this shortfall. And promoting the development of innovative technology at this conference to address this crisis is just one of LSE's initiatives in this arena. LSE's TIG program has helped drive innovation in legal technology since its inception, supporting more than 755 projects across the country, totaling nearly $69 million in grants. And TIG-funded projects have created mobile apps, video conferencing, triage and online intake systems, multi-language legal education resources. TIG has funded nationally popular platforms and products, including the A2J author interviewing software, DocAssemble, a free open source expert system for guided interviews and document assembly, and of course, statesidelegal.org, the first nationwide website focused exclusively on the legal problems facing veterans and their military families. That's just mentioning a few. LSE has also convened 2 important technology summits, bringing together leaders in the field that produced results stretching well beyond the legal tech community. The second summit, which concluded in 2013, issued a report that set an ambitious goal to provide all Americans with some form of effective assistance with their essential civil legal needs. Well, the Conference of Chief Justices and state court administrators adopt this as an aspirational goal in 2016, and it has helped shape the discussion of civil legal aid during the past few years, placing technology at the very center of the conversation. Well, this week's event is a far cry from our first technology conference 20 years ago, when just 32 people gathered in New Orleans. That event was called the TIG Conference because it focused on our new technology initiative grants. But over the years, the agenda has expanded, and attendees have grown well beyond our TIG recipients. In 2018, we adopted the Innovations in Technology Conference title to reflect this expanded focus. And the new title also reflects another goal we've had for these meetings: to foster community in this sector, to bring together visionaries and experts to help move civil legal aid forward. We know that technology alone cannot close the justice gap, but there is little hope that this gap will be closed or even narrowed without the kind of innovative work on display in the sessions here. And you may not think of it in these terms, but your very efforts help our country remain true to foundational value, what Jefferson called the most sacred of duties of government, what Washington called the firmest pillar of good government: access to justice. When a low-income American uses Upsolve to file for bankruptcy for free, when a self-represented litigant or overburdened legal aid lawyer uses a document assembly system to generate accurate court papers quickly, when a pro bono lawyer interviews a client in a remote location via video conferencing, your work is making this core value of equal access to justice a reality for some of our most vulnerable citizens, for whom it might just be an empty promise without your efforts. Your vital work, which we stand ready to support as we have for these past 2 decades, answers the eloquent call that President Dwight Eisenhower made when he established Law Day in 1958 for Americans to, quote, and I quote him, vigilantly guard the great heritage of liberty, justice, and equality under law, which our forefathers bequeathed to us. Thank you for helping LSC heed President General Eisenhower's powerful call and guard that great heritage. Thank you very much.